The following is a Mid-Atlantic Sports special presentation.
If you've noticed, Marcellus King, they're chanting Converse, not your name. And another thing is, that title is not yours. You know it's not yours. How many times have I called? I told you return it. It's not yours. It doesn't change hands on a count out disqualification. You've got to pin the man.
2 weeks ago, each and every one of you witnessed history. After years of fighting my way to the top, I finally got my chance at the Mid-Atlantic Championship.
Who was she?
And if you recall, at the end of the night, it was my hand that was raised in victory. So as far as I'm concerned, that makes me the rightful Mid-Atlantic champion.
Like I said, that's not the way it happens. Yes, it goes in the record books as a win, but it was a count out. You didn't pin the man.
You don't have to come out here and try to rain on my parade, Commissioner Cross, because I know that's what's going on. Like I said, I fought for years, and Ric Converse was stuck in me way too long. I took matters into my own hands, and I did what I had to do to get what I want. And you best believe, I'm standing here with the belt, so Marcellus King definitely got what he wanted.
You may have it in your possession right now, but I'm telling you right now, hand it over. It's not yours. You might have your friends out here. You might have your friends out here.
That's another thing. You see, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Anything Ric Converse can do, Marcellus King can do better. Ric Converse comes out here and claims that he runs the city.
He does. He does. What do you run?
Well, the Sinn Kid's running the city.
What's his mouth?
I need not say any more. Ric Converse can't even hold on to his best friends. Week after week, we've seen Joey Silvia and Trip Bob come out here and stab Rick in the back. Marcellus King surrounds himself with good friends. And whether you like it or not, Marcellus King is going to be a better Mid-Atlantic champion than Ric Converse could ever dream of being.
Welcome everyone to the Carolina Sports Arena. The date, March 25th, 2006, right here in Burlington, North Carolina.
That's right, we've got singles action kicking off the show. Your Rising Generation League, the man in the mask, Ultra Dragon, his challenger today, Vic Valek.
As Dragon takes the canvas in a big way. And like Randolph said, this match is indeed for the Rising Generation League Championship. It is for competitors with 3 years of experience or less. And of course, Dragon has been the champion since he was able to take the title from Kid Justice at Battle K6. And this is Vic Valek's first shot at the championship.
That's right, I don't know a lot about Vic Valek. Looks like he's going to drop Dragon flat on the back, take the wind out of the young champion, and heading for the corner. Looks like he's going to the top, middle rope.
Certainly been an energetic contest before we went on the air today, but no one home for the moonsault delivered by Vic Valek.
Vic Valek, unsurprisingly to me, he goes to the second rope, comes off with a big move like that.
Of course, Dragon's been one of the most exciting performers in Zaguri, right upside the head of Valek. Dragon's been one of the most exciting performers in the past year since he's made a debut at New Year's Knockout in January of 2005 against his mentor, the Kamakazi Kid, and now Dragon ascending to the top rope. Sky Twister press, crushing Vic Valek.
Referee Charles Richardson calls for the bell. 3 count to winner and still champion, Ultra Dragon.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and still the league champion by pinfall in 3 minutes 25 seconds, Ultra Dragon!
Right here it is, Daddy, everything. The Street Sweepers attacking the Southside Players, the old rivals, going at it once again here at the Carolina Sports Arena.
Referee Charles Richardson called for the bell, trying to get this thing underway. We still got all 4 men in the ring.
It's been nearly 1 year since the Street Sweepers first contended for the then Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champions Gold, which was held by the Southside Players during the summer of 2005, and a double team avalanches in the corners by these players, shooting Sinn crushing Gregory Vercetti into the corner.
Both of the Street Sweepers dazed. Here comes J Money, drives both men face first to the canvas.
Boy, if the opening moments of this one were any indication, we should have a lot of fun in store for us here today as the Street Sweepers are having to regroup here early in this one.
And I gotta wonder what the whole deal with the sweeping and the knock has to do with it right now. The players are making them look like they shouldn't even be in contention.
Of course, for some inexplicable reason, the Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champions, a very handsome man, Mitch Connor, and a mad trucker, Garry Stevens, said the Southside Players, they feel that they need to go through the Street Sweepers before receiving another shot at the Tag Team Gold.
Well, I have no idea where the cheeseheads are coming off from it, but they have their own idea that they determine who the #1 contenders are. I'm not sure if the CWF and the AWA themselves see it the same way, but I mean, the players are here, they're game for it, and they're taking the fight right to the Street Sweepers.
Yeah, make no mistake, it's Commissioner William L. Cross that decides who faces who, when, and where for the championships. And if there's one tag team in this region that has nothing at all to prove, they've proven themselves time and time again over the past few years. You better believe it's the Southside Players, multiple-time tag team champions, multiple-time tag team of the year award winners.
I'll tell you what, the Southside Players version 2, that's Will Be Smooth in the ring. He's the newest addition to the Southside Players. The two of these gentlemen, unlikely. They were foes in singles action for months. What happens? Somebody comes in, takes J Money down, Smooth comes to the rescue. We thought it was going to be a Pearl Harbor attack. The two men have become steadfast tag team.
And of course, this version of the Southside Players have only held the tag team championships once. It's J Money with a humongous clothesline on Vercetti, making the lateral press. Charles Richardson down for the count, but only a 2. As we were saying, this tag team combination of the Southside Players have only held the championship gold 1 time, but that 1 time was for nearly 1 full year, from March 19th of last year until February of this year.
And you know, you've got to look at it anyway. When they lost the titles to a very handsome gentleman and the mad trucker, you've got to consider it an upset. I mean, so the experts figured they would hold the belts at least a year. I mean, once you got to that point.
Indeed, Sue, it was a shocking upset by Mitch Connor and Garry Stevens. But let's not forget the players have yet to get their rematch for the titles. And you got to think, can lightning strike twice for Mitch Connor and Garry Stevens as Sinn puts all his weight across the torso of J Money, not making the cover, but once again just a 2.
That's a great offensive move by Sinn, using all that body weight in close measure, right into the rib cage, takes all the breath out of J Money. J Money was right for the pickings, but the veteran he is, he knew he had to make a move to keep this match to continue.
Of course, the Street Sweepers really feel they have something to prove here today. How many times did they have a shot at the tag team championship against the players last year? Could not get the job done. The Street Sweepers have piled up victory after victory over so many formidable duos in CWF Mid-Atlantic, but they couldn't get over that one final hump. That one final hump being the tag team championship.
Well, the Southside Players, you know, that's what they've got their sights set on. That's why we're here today with Vercetti and Sinn in the ring against the players. It was all set up by the current tag team champions. Beautiful double team move by the Street Sweepers.
Of course, the Street Sweepers have some of the nicest double team maneuvers going in tag team wrestling in the Mid-Atlantic today.
That's right, J Money. He's got to be wondering what he can do to get over to his corner and make the tag real smooth. He gets launched into the far corner. Sinn propels himself in, nails him in the corner.
Full steam ahead and follows it up with another clothesline. J Money flat on his back. Once again, Charles with the count, and Will Be Smooth was all over that one.
Will Smooth came in, but Sinn saw it and got out of the way. I don't know if Smooth connected, but the intention was seen.
Jay Sinn certainly saw him coming in, and once again the street sweepers of Vercetti and Sinn looking to double team J Money, hooks him up, neck breaker, spine buster combination, Sinn with the cover, and once again the count, and once again Will Be Smooth is right there at first partner.
Will Be Smooth making the save, 2 consecutive covers, and Jay Sinn seems to be in a little bit of pain from that last save attempt, but Vercetti's got the package. He's directing traffic.
Vercetti with the package, miscommunication as Vercetti slams the package into the skull of Jay Sinn, and Will Be Smooth is right there.
Oh, Will Be Smooth with a kick to the
What a
back
hit.
right to the nose of Vercetti. Vercetti's down. Players taking charge.
Charles Richardson has pretty much thrown his arms up. He doesn't know what in the world to do as Jay Sinn's still out from that shot with the package. J Money waiting on him. It's the old school heart attack. J Money flipping over. Charles with the count, and just like that,
Oh, my goodness.
the Southside Players victorious over the Street Sweepers here today.
Ladies and gentlemen, winners in 6 minutes, 53 seconds, the Southside Players! Previous J up in the third. It's like Olsen.
Now, I know we've been having some problems, and I watched that match from a couple weeks ago. But as much as you've been screwing up, Tank,
What's the matter?
I have had the deal of a lifetime fall into my lap. We're gonna make a lot of money. We're gonna make a lot of money. See, I don't know if you've been watching television here lately, but there was a deal with the United Arab Emirates. Want to take over some ports here in the United States. Unfortunately, that deal fell through. Cost this country a lot of money, but you know what? I gave him a call and said, hey, you know what? Maybe you can go ahead and get your hands in the wrestling business. I have those kind of connections. But I did have to tell him, you have a little trouble following orders. But see, we're not going to have that problem anymore, because when I fill you in on the amount of money we're going to make, you're not going to have any problem listening to me anymore. But to go ahead and prove your loyalty, because they know I'm on board. You know, it was a little bit hard for me to do it first, because after all, I did serve 10 years in the United States Air Force. I was active duty, Desert Storm, Desert Shield. I got my Kuwaiti Liberation Medal to prove it. I've got my DD Form 214 with an honorable discharge. So, you know, it was a little bit hard for me to do this, to side up with some Arabs. But there's one thing I love more than the red, white, and blue, and that's green. But to prove your loyalty, Tank, they asked me to do this, and now I'm going to ask you to do this to prove our loyalty to them. I want you to spit on this flag. I know I'm not going to ask, but we're talking a lot of money. A lot of money. You know, it was hard for me at first. It's a lot of money.
Smack it, Tank! Smack it, Tank!
Spit on him instead.
Spit on him!
Show me you're on board. It won't be that hard. Come on.
Come on, man. What do you think? Huh?
That's why you people will never have any money, because you're stupid. Shut up! Come on, Tate. Don't listen to these people. A lot of money. Come on. Come on, Tate. Take this flag. Spit on this flag.
Cornelius J. Lincoln laying down the law, telling Tank Lawson he has to spit on the American flag.
I just don't know. Tank Lawson, he's got a thing about money, but he doesn't seem to be considering it, but he's not ruling it out. He's thinking it over here. Lincoln's got to have some way of getting him over to his side, but spitting on the flag?
Tank Lawson is a red-blooded American through and through, and obviously this is going to be the tell sign as Tank Lawson spits right in the face of Cornelius J. Lincoln. Tank Lawson doing the right thing, not taking the money, not taking the investors' money that has been bestowed upon Cornelius J. Lincoln, and these fans can taste it.
Oh my goodness, Tank Lawson's taking over. Lincoln come after him. Lawson drove into the canvas.
Tank Lawson has finally done what we have all wanted, and that is turn his back on Cornelius J. Lincoln III.
The man is back, Jack! Hey, Mitchy baby! He got a bow tie just like the trucker!
Mitch Connor, Garry Stevens, Jesse Ortega, Brass Monkey wasting no time getting it on in this one.
That's right. The titles are up and the champions are going straight to the faces of the challengers. Looks like Ortega's going to come back with open hand chops. Brass Monkey slung into the ring. In comes the trucker Monkey, able to duck under.
Brass Monkey firing Jesse Ortega into the massive Mad Trucker. Thunderous clothesline. Ortega taking Monkey up and over into the Mad Trucker as well.
Mad Trucker rolls out of the ring. Looks like Ortega and Brass Monkey standing tall in the center of the ring. The champions down on the floor.
Of course, this matchup came about because on our last show, we saw in non-title matchup, Mitch Connor and Garry Stevens take on Brass Monkey, who was pretty much partnerless. And in his corner was Jeremy Ryan, not exactly a championship caliber athlete, a game fighter to be sure, and Brass Monkey put on one heck of a fight, and Jeremy Ryan did a little less than that, shall we say.
Yeah, it didn't work out for the tag team that night. Brass Monkey did hold up his end of it, could have had a title change, but Jeremy Ryan unfortunately found his back on the canvas one time too often.
But hey, Commissioner Cross, he's all about the spirit of competition. He said if Brass Monkey can find shall we say legitimate tag team partner, he would award Brass Monkey a well-deserved tag team title match, and Brass Monkey certainly went out and found a very legitimate tag team partner in Jesse Ortega.
It's a pretty intriguing matchup when you think the tag team of Brass Monkey with the educated feet and Jesse Ortega, who is just a bundle of energy together, what these two may possibly be able to do.
Certainly, and I really never would have thought of this combination as being a real viable tag team championship combination, but really, when you see them in person, and what do we have going on here over in our concession stand? I can't see the camera, his back's to the camera, but back in the ring, Mitch Connor taking control of Brass Monkey, but Monkey firing away out of that corner.
Maybe our cameraman went in for a snack or something.
Roaring elbow takes Mitch Connor off his feet as Brass Monkey unloads, and now dragging one half of the tag team champions back to the corner with Jesse Ortega.
That's right. Monkey slams his man into the ring, tags in Ortega. Ortega drops a big elbow over the top rope, only able to get a big one count. Referee Charles Richardson picks his man back up into the short elbow.
Of course, it was last September 17th when Mitch Connor ended the 24 title defense run of Jesse Ortega and the Mid-Atlantic television title. Those two has been a rivalry that doesn't look to end anytime soon. And of course, Brass Monkey and Garry Stevens, those battles have been well documented going back some 2 years when Brass Monkey was a tag team champion.
Yeah, Brass Monkey was able to return. I mean, he was brutalized by the trucker early on, but he started fighting the trucker's kind of fight. I mean, he was working on fighting much larger men, as often happens to a competitor his size, and he was able to overcome a lot of obstacles.
And of course, the combination of Jesse Ortega and the Mad Trucker Garry Stevens, that was the finals of last year's Johnny Weaver Cup, when Ortega was actually to pin the then Mid-Atlantic heavyweight champion.
And there we go, the educated feet of Brass Monkey. Brass Monkey driving an elbow into the back of the arm of the Mad Trucker. He's got Trucker in a position where he can't do anything to him.
Yeah, the tag team champions certainly looking like they've been thrown off their game by this combination of some of the most fiercest young competitors in the Mid-Atlantic region.
All right, keep an eye on the Trucker. He's going for the short ribs there. He tried picking up the knee. It didn't happen. He's got a headlock now. Rips at the eyes of Brass Monkey. Brass Monkey's down.
Of course, if there's one wrestler that knows how to fight, you better believe it's the Mad Trucker Garry Stevens. We've seen the lengths he'll go to try and win a match. Everyone will never forget this steel cage match with Ric Converse for the championship at Battle Cage 6 as collision in mid-ring. Brass Monkey had more height, gets the lateral press off the body press, but Mitch Connor right there to make the save.
Yeah, the guy from up north was able to make the save on that. What an odd combination. Mitch Connor tagged in. He's the legal man. The Trucker holding, setting up Brass Monkey. Big chop right across the forehead of Brass Monkey.
Mitch Connor thinking he's the Karate Kid one more time, and trying to slow the pace down, because really Brass Monkey and Jesse Ortega have been the proverbial runaway train so far in this one.
Yeah, and he's got Monkey down there. It looks like Connor finally has some semblance of control in this match for the very first time. You think, who came to the ring with the title?
Oh, that's who was in the concession stand. He's munching on, I believe, some nachos right now and taking in the action. That is Caprice Ice Coleman.
Caprice Ice Coleman, a high flyer. He's a world-class athlete. We'll see him here shortly, I'm sure, but what's he doing out here now?
I'm not really sure. As we take another look at Caprice, Jesse Ortega and Caprice Coleman actually had a tremendous contest a few weeks ago here at the Carolina Sports Arena. Ortega really kind of took it to heart the way he was defeated in that matchup, and Caprice has really been gloating on his superiority of some of the Mid-Atlantic athletes, specifically Jesse Ortega.
Well, yeah, but then the two of them are jockeying for position for the AWA World Junior Light Heavyweight title, currently held by Crazy K Kirby Max. I mean, they've got heat from several different angles there.
Yeah, Ortega and Coleman both were in the AWA Light Heavyweight tournament.
I'm just watching the show, man. I just want to see what the fans see in these people. You know, I don't see the entertainment now. All of them look bent out of shape. They need to go to Caprice Coleman. Caprice Coleman close program. I wrestled Caprice Coleman. I lost 20 pounds. Thanks to Caprice, they need all of them need 20 pounds. All of them ugly. In this match, the rates go down. All the rates go down right now. They ugly people. They need more better looking.
Well, Caprice may not have a headset, but he's certainly doing everything he can to try and join us here on the commentating team.
That's right, referee Charles Richardson down only able to get a 2 count as the Trucker tries to pin Ortega.
He out of breath.
Garry Stevens staying right on top of El Fuego, Jesse Ortega.
Started with Jesse Ortega, Ortega. How you say his name? You should have names people know how to say, like Caprice Coleman. They can say Caprice Coleman. Everybody say Jesse Ortega, Jesse Ortega. Can't he say it?
I think he's here to try to get into the commentary business. Myself, Ortega tried to fight out of the corner. Mad Trucker's got him backed into it and beating down on him using the superior body weight. Now he unloads with an open chop to the chest.
Yeah, but Caprice may be a distraction to us right now, but he's not being a distraction to any of the 4 athletes in the ring. As right now, Garry Stevens is staying on El Fuego, Jesse Ortega.
Well, you know, you got to keep it in mind.
Come on, Jesse, fight! Fight, Jesse! Fight them people! Fight them like hard! Look like hard! Get them down! Knock them down!
And this is a tag title match going on here, so I mean the challengers have got to be intent on their goal of winning the gold. The champions have got to be intent on defending the gold. So I mean, they're not going to pay a lot of attention to anybody outside the ring unless maybe they get up on the apron or something. Thank you, Caprice.
Cannot let someone like Caprice Coleman distract you from the mission at hand, because Tag Team Gold hangs in the balance right now as the champions have really isolated Jesse Ortega in this one, who desperately needs to make the tag to Brass Monkey. Mitch Connor blatantly has the feet on the ropes. Charles Richardson and Brass Monkey all over that one.
Yeah, Charles Richardson got his back turned to the action right now. Ortega's getting a little time to catch his breath, but Connor's back on him before he can get to his knees.
Yeah, but Mitch Connor really needs to reposition. Oh, he's mocking Jesse Ortega in the tag.
Hammerlock.
Yeah, but
he's going to drive him down.
Trying to fight for the Fujiwara, and he makes the tag. He fought for the Fujiwara and put himself in a position to make the tag to Brass Monkey.
This is my idols right here.
Mitch Connor now hooking him for the suplex.
Yeah, Mitch Connor taking advantage of Munkey. Munkey rolls him up to schoolboy. Referee's down.
Small package by Brass Monkey, only gets 2 as he came very, very close to catching Mitch Connor off guard.
Yeah, Mitch Connor comes back with a double axe handle right to the back of the head. Monkey's having a hard time getting back to his feet. Connor's going to sling him into his own corner, or going to try to. Going to back him into another corner and unload on him.
Mitch Connor firing Brass Monkey into the opposite turnbuckle. Full steam ahead, no one home. Brass Monkey rolling from behind, tries for the count, but once again just a 2.
That's right, Charles Richardson. Johnny on the spot tonight so far. Then comes Connor with a flying double axe handle. Again, Brass Monkey sprawled out on the canvas.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, the tag team champions have certainly weathered this storm when they needed to. I'm willing to bet right now, though, if somehow Mitch Connor and Garry Stevens can survive the tag team of Brass Monkey and Jesse Ortega today, that they have no desire to ever be in the ring with this combination again with the titles on the line.
Yeah, definitely, but I mean, I could see them like wanting to meet them outside of the Carolina Sports Arena like at 11 o'clock on a Sunday night or something, but
who just carries on and carries on, completely disrespecting the fine, fine athletes of CWF Mid-Atlantic, despite the fact that he is one himself.
yeah, that's right, but look, you notice Connor's got the knee pads dropped. He's driving bare knees right into the forehead of Brass Monkey. Brass Monkey once again sprawled out on the canvas, and Connor's teasing that he's going to the top. Wait a minute.
Mitch Connor not usually at home on the top rope, but he's at least on the second turnbuckle there, and no one home as his unpadded knees crash into the unforgiving canvas.
That's right, Brass Monkey's seen him coming, able to roll out of the way, and here comes Monkey trying to crawl back and start inflicting a little damage of his own right now while Connor's out of breath. Looks like Monkey's got hold of the leg.
Brass Monkey may have been better off making the tag, but he hits the dragon screw leg whip, makes the tag to Jesse Ortega, who has Mitch Connor right where he wants him.
That's right, Ortega up, full body weight right across the midsection of Connor. He goes straight down for the cover, only able to get a 2 count.
And now, Jesse Ortega back to Mitch Connor, who's firing off with some haymakers of his own. Ortega down to 1 knee.
Ortega having a hard time getting back to his feet. Connor's going straight to the face. Ortega trying to fight back, but only able to hit in the midsection. He's back to his feet now. This might get interesting.
Turn into an unorthodox slugfest here. Ortega trying to roll. Mitch Connor up off the ropes, has him hooked. Mitch Connor almost got his shoulders pinned there.
That's right, Mitch Connor able to get out of that one. He's waiting on him, drives Ortega to the canvas.
Big power slam by Mitch Connor. Jesse Ortega, Northern Lights suplex on Mitch Connor, has him down again, and Garry Stevens making the save this time.
Follow me right quick. I'm gonna show you how to entertain. Some chips, real good chips here.
Where's Caprice Coleman going?
I don't know, but I can see Brass Monkey in the rings going upside ahead of the tag team champion, Mad Trucker Garry Stevens. Stevens resorts to a thumb to the eye.
Stevens now, the thumb to the eye, takes advantage of it, looking to toss Brass Monkey out of the ring. Oh no, right into the steel ring post.
Right into little Billy.
Did you hear the smack? And did you hear the screams from ringside from Brass Monkey? He may have just broken his collarbone just then.
That's right, look back in the ring. Wait a minute, Ice Coleman getting involved.
Coleman with the foot, Mitch Connor on top. Referee Charles Richardson with the count.
And Coleman didn't even spill his nachos.
Coleman has obviously made his mission crystal clear. He cost Jesse Ortega and Brass Monkey the tag team championships here today.
Yeah, he cost them dearly because these titles could have changed hands right here to Carolina Sports Arena, but thanks to Caprice Ice Coleman, nothing happened. The status quo remains the same.
And boy, you can still hear the screams at ringside from Brass Monkey, who may desperately need some medical attention right now. I don't even know if Jesse Ortega is even aware as he's staring dead on right at Caprice Coleman, because he knows exactly what just went down in this one.
whatever a Matty can. And tonight, Michael Yamaha, this is just another step in me working my way to get to you, you little punk. Hope you have fun combing your hair at home with your girlfriend.
As a fan of professional wrestling, you have got to be excited about this tag team combination because on one side, it's the youngsters, Matty D and Roy Wilkins against the turncoats, the backstabbers, Joey Silvia, and simply Steve Greene.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you one thing right now, or in the past couple of years, you could qualify all 4 of the men in the ring for this match as the young lions of professional wrestling here in the Mid-Atlantic area.
Certainly so. In his early going, Joey Silvia, despite his newfound attitude, is putting on a beautiful wrestling display, really showing his veteranship over rock and roll Matty D.
Yeah, Matty D's yet to get his shot, but you know, Silvia's going to show his true colors, and we're looking right at him.
Matty D is not going to take too many slaps to the face as he catches the hand of Joey Silvia, and what a clothesline for rock and roll Matty D.
Matty D's upsetting the world of Silvia. Silvia down 3 consecutive clotheslines. Matty D dives in on him in the corner, and he's going to bulldog him to the canvas.
Matty D is a house of fire in the early going, early cover. My God, did you hear the kick Steve Greene just administered to the ribs of Matty D?
Well, you know, come on, Steve Greene, formerly the American Steel Ninja, he just took a boot to the chin himself.
A well-deserved one because he got a bladed cheap shot in there, but Joey Silvia cannot pay off from it as Matty D is hammering Joey Silvia right back to his own corner.
That's right, he tags in the rookie sensation, Roy Rage Wilkins. Roy's the legal man, we got a double team going, double clothesline.
Joey Silvia down and Roy Wilkins in for the first time. He is certainly the most inexperienced man in this contest. He's had less than 15 professional matches, but boy, as a product of the CWF Mid-Atlantic Dojo, he is one of the true up-and-comers, and we certainly expect to see great things from him in 2006.
Yes, we do, but I'm going to tell you, to see great things out of him tonight, he needs to get out of the wrong corner here. Simply Steve Greene in control, driving the knees up into the midsection, and we've seen this move before.
Going for the setting sun. But Roy Wilkins sits out and drives the torso of Steve Greene into the canvas, making the tag back to rock and roll Matty D.
I have never seen anybody come out of that move that way. Beautiful. That means Roy is doing his tape work.
What a kick!
And I tell you, Steve Greene's never had so many boots in his mouth in one match in his life, I'm certain.
Boy, the team of Matty D and Roy Wilkins are looking awesome. Oh my God, what a clothesline by Steve Greene.
Steve Greene stood his ground and showed that he's not all looks, that is muscle in the upper body, and I mean, he took Matty D off his feet, goes back, tags in Joey Silvia.
The new dynasty, so they're calling themselves, looking to set up Matty D, double boot to the midsection, driving the high knee, and now Joey Silvia, inverted neck snap.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of pain on Matty D. Matty D's down, still able to kick out before the 3 count. Silvia not happy with that situation. He's got a knee right in the windpipe of Matty D.
Of course, this is the very first time any combination of these 4 men have ever met. You've seen in the past few weeks and months, Matty D, Roy Wilkins, and G-Star have had a huge rivalry with Fatback Enterprises. Fatback Enterprises suspended for 6 weeks because of their heartless actions against Matty, Roy, and G. And in the meantime, during that 6-week suspension, the combination of Joey Silvia, Trent Wild, and Steve Greene, they formed the new dynasty and stabbed their loyal friend, Ric Converse, in the back. We're going to see Ric Converse later on, but how distraught has Ric Converse been ever since these former 3 friends turned against him?
And I tell you what, Ric Converse, to the point in his life right now, I don't think he trusts anyone. No one inside, outside the ring compared, in the business, around wrestling, or even out in his personal life when he is away from the ring. He's trusting nobody. He's got to be at least a little bit paranoid, considering the number of friends he has lost in the last month.
It is really sad because Ric Converse is such a good person, but paranoia has consumed him. But right now, back to ring action as Joey Silvia shot right to the ribs, and once again looking to set up Matty D, Fireman Carey, and boy, we saw the old school Joey Silvia hit this maneuver a million times.
Here he goes, beautiful moonsault off the second rope, goes for the cover. Matty D still able to kick out before the 3 count. Silvia's not very happy with the count. He goes back in Charles Richardson's face, gets Richardson back in his face as he goes straight to the face of Matty D down on the canvas. Oh my goodness, drop Matty D across the top rope. Joy Silvia in control, boots him off. Matty D down to the concrete.
Matty D crashes to the concrete floor below, and Steve Greene gets in that extra shot just for good measure.
That's right, he takes advantage of the situation. Joy Silvia keeping away from the ropes as the referee instructs. And Matty D's trying to get back up, but Silvia's going to go out and meet him.
But Matty D, though, that kid will not die. It's a shot in on Joy, but Steve Greene using some of that old ninja-like maneuver, kick right to the blind side of Matty D.
Yeah, Matty D's taking a beating at the hands and feet of both of these gentlemen right now. He needs to get Roy Wilkins in. He needs to get this fight over to their corner right now. I mean, the majority of this match has been in the Dynasty 2's corner.
Of course, Trent Wild, somewhat suspicious by his absence here tonight. Steve Greene and Joey Silvia going in a long, big vertical suplex, but how many times have we seen Trent Wild supposedly not be in the building and then show up at the very pivotal moment?
Yeah, well, that is true. That has happened in the past, but you know, you also sort of got to think Trent Wild's not in the building. His partners are in the ring wrestling. I mean, it almost makes you think maybe he's breaking into cars out in the parking lot.
Steve Greene trying to wear down rock and roll Matty D. I'm sure they probably would rather isolate the youngster Roy Wilkins, but if you can take out the veteran of the team, rock and roll Matty D, the nucleus of the team, the leadership, what will that combination have left?
I tell you what, Steve Greene using a little bit of veteran savvy right there. He gets the referee to turn his attention away because he's able to goad Roy Wilkins into coming in. Matty D's going to turn it around, drive the face.
Matty D hits the defibrillator.
Oh my goodness, Steve Greene simply seeing stars right now. Matty D is trying to get something going, trying to make it over Roy Wilkins for the tag.
Matty D trying to capitalize on the defibrillator. Roy Wilkins gets the tag. Joey Silvia gets the tag as well. They make it be in the center of the ring, and Roy Wilkins is unloading on both members of the new dynasty.
That's right, Roy Wilkins is showing the fire. He's been sitting on the apron waiting patiently. Well, his patience comes to an end as he drives Silvia down to the mat with a big clothesline.
Just stay on him, Roy. The one problem Roy Wilkins has sometimes is hesitation, but each match you can see him becoming more and more fierce, more and more aggressive. Roy Wilkins with the vertical suplex on Joey Silvia.
Yeah, it will not be long before Roy Wilkins will be very proficient in what we like to refer to as chain wrestling, which is something you don't see on entertainment programs, but you're starting to see Roy's
rage factor. Roy Wilkins rages up and drives Joey Silvia into the mat.
Oh my goodness, he's calling for Matty D to come up top. Roy Wilkins is going up to the top rope itself. Wait a minute, we've seen this before. Matty D's going up.
Could be going all the way up for the stairway of heaven, but Steve Greene pulling Joey Silvia out of the way. No one home for rock and roll Matty D.
Oh my goodness, the boot of Steve Greene straight to the face of Matty D.
Wilkins dies.
Waiting. Oh!
It's the same maneuver he nailed Ric Converse with when he stabbed him in the back, and now Joey Silvia insult right in the face of rock and roll Matty D, hitting his own leg drop off the top, and it's over.
Oh my goodness, referee Charles Richardson makes the 3 count. Dynasty 2. They get a big win here at the Carolina Sports Arena tonight.
One heck of a coming out performance from the new dynasty, but one heck of a performance from the youngsters, rock and roll Matty D and Roy Wilkins as well.
It's hard to hate somebody that's this good.
You know what? I came out time ago and I was looking to see if I could actually see some entertainment. I've seen. I mean, they're terrible. They say, Caprice, are you a good guy or are you a bad guy? I hate all these people. They suck. They need to go to Caprice Coleman plan. Because anybody wrestles me, they say, you know what? I wrestled Caprice Coleman and I lost 20 pounds. Thanks, Caprice. That's what all of them need. I've seen these guys were out of gas. They couldn't even wrestle. They were like this the whole match. And then y'all superstars, you even got one, is it Jesse Fuego, Jesse Ortega? And y'all say Jesse, y'all can't nobody even say his last name. And they cheering for this guy. You need to cheer with the man with the style, the grace, the shape, and the faith. Matter of fact, I'm the baddest man up in this piece. I'm mean enough to make a grown man cry, cold enough to make an Eskimo shiver. I make your kidneys shut down and make pudding out your liver. Forget about Domino's, cause cold deliver. I put them in the trench and call it Coleman Crummer. I'm the coldest brother up in this place, the best entertainer and the hardest man to hate. So if you want to stick with the man that's on top, cheer for Caprice Coleman. I get all props. Give it up for Otto!
It's a clash between two former Omega standouts. The massive all-German beef Otto Schwanz and Caprice Ice Coleman.
Two extremely well-conditioned athletes, both men known from coast to coast in the wrestling circles. This could be amazing. Caprice Coleman, the self-proclaimed newest member of the CWF Mid-Atlantic. Oh my goodness. Announce team. Nobody home this time. Let's get back to the match. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago that we did see Caprice Ice Coleman trying to join us here on the commentating booth, showing his complete lack of disrespect for the athletes of the Mid-Atlantic, but specifically El Fuego, Jesse Ortega, as ever since those two had that clash a few weeks back, there's been a lot of ill will. Jesse Ortega very disappointed with himself personally because lost, but Caprice Ice Coleman, let's not forget, took the Lude road to secure that victory.
Yeah, and that's not the Caprice Ice Coleman that I remember best over the last few years. There's definitely been a little bit of a change in the way he's approaching this game right now, but right now he's approaching this game as I have got to get away from the grip of those huge arms of Otto Schwanz.
Yeah, Otto Schwanz is certainly, I mean, what can you not say about Otto Schwanz? He's a former Mid-Atlantic heavyweight champion, but he's done it all. East Coast, West Coast, wherever you go in the United States, wherever you go in North America, the people know the name Otto Schwanz. He may be known by another name in some areas, but you've probably crossed paths with Otto Schwanz, and he is certainly one of the most capable super heavyweights of the Mid-Atlantic region.
And I tell you what, I've said it on the air, I've said it back when we were on regular television, I'll say it on the internet. Take a look at Otto Schwanz. From the neck down, this man is almost a carbon copy of the original, the Russian Nightmare, Nikita Koloff, when he was at his baddest.
A very impressive offensive flurry there by Caprice Ice Coleman, and that's exactly what he's going to have to do in this one to secure a win. It wasn't too long ago that we saw a clash actually between Otto Schwanz and Cyrus. It was the battle of power versus speed, and it's very similar to what we have here today. Caprice Ice Coleman a little bit bigger than Cyrus, but really it's still the power versus the speed, and Caprice Ice Coleman needs to take a moment and probably get out of the range of Otto Schwanz.
That's right, Otto Schwanz is in that irresistible force mode right now, up and over Caprice Ice Coleman, back elbow. What an impressive athlete Otto Schwanz is.
Of course, Otto Schwanz is well known for the swinging Schwanz powerbomb. He's won many, many matches and championships with that maneuver. Caprice Ice Coleman, as Jesse Ortega well knows, is the practitioner of the thermal shock.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to tell you what, Caprice Ice Coleman, very, very, very good competitor in the ring, but like we're saying, there's been a change in the way this young man thinks over the past few months. I mean, I don't know what's causing, I don't know where it's coming from, but
Beautiful.
Look at this. He's still Caprice Ice Coleman.
And let's not discount the fact of the height of Otto Schwanz is somewhere in that 6'7" height range, and Caprice Ice Coleman went from a standing position all the way up to catch him in that head scissors.
Caprice Ice Coleman has the best vertical jump from a standing position of anybody I have seen in my 35 years of watching professional wrestling.
Caprice Ice Coleman out maintaining the advantage on Otto Schwanz. Of course, Caprice Ice Coleman, you talked about his attitude change. You know, Caprice Ice Coleman, you really never know what you're going to get from one show to the next sometimes with him. But one thing is for certain is Caprice Ice Coleman going home for the lion stock as Otto Schwanz drives the knees into the abdomen.
That's right. Caprice has got to be feeling it right now, especially across those short ribs. Driven into his back over the head of Schwanz, and he is draped in the ropes.
The fall away slam certainly effective. What I was trying to say before about Caprice Ice Coleman is he has proven that if one thing is for sure about that man, that he is after what is best for Caprice Ice Coleman. He could care less what's best for the fans, his other competitors. He's all about his own success, publicity, and gaining wins.
Well, he's getting a lot of publicity, getting driven to the AWA logo in the center of the ring here at the Carolina Sports Arena by Otto Schwanz, but that's not going to get him the win that he wants.
Very solid back and forth matchup between these two veterans. As Otto Schwanz hammering Caprice Coleman back to the rope, firing him up, and Caprice Ice Coleman hangs on, ducks down, drops Otto Schwanz all the way to the floor, who lands on his feet.
And I don't know, is Schwanz playing possum?
I believe he may have been because he caught Caprice in midair and rams his back straight into the steel ring post.
And that steel ring post, as unforgiving as the concrete floor, looks like Caprice is going to exit the building.
Oh, but Otto Schwanz not letting him go, but so far dragging him right back to the ring.
That's right, head first into the apron. I'm going to tell you, that's the hard part of the ring, folks. Looks like Caprice going to have to take it down to one knee right here on the front row. Fans are getting a close-up look. And I believe Schwanz is inviting somebody to lay a lick in on their own, which, you know, we want to tell you we appreciate it. Fans, do not touch the wrestlers.
Yeah, despite how much you are encouraged by Otto Schwanz, please do not smack your fellow wrestler.
That's right, a wrestler, I'll tell you. Caprice out here taking a break on the front row with some of the great fans here at the Carolina Sports Arena. Schwanz uncharacteristically waiting in the ring for Caprice to return.
I think he's playing a little bit of mind warfare with Caprice Ice Coleman right now, who gets a blatant eye rake in. Smart maneuver by Caprice, though, being able to turn the tide like that. And now Caprice Ice Coleman up and over with the leg drop, clotheslining Schwanz down on that second rope.
Yeah, Schwanz back up to his feet. And here comes Caprice off the top rope, missile drop kick. Schwanz down.
Caprice Ice Coleman was in the lights for that missile springboard.
I tell you what, Caprice impressive as ever. Schwanz able to power his way out on the 2 count, but you know, Schwanz isn't coming out of it as quickly as he was. Caprice going to the blatant chokehold.
Caprice, obvious frustration showing, trying to choke Otto Schwanz out, and if there's a man you do not want to infuriate in CWF Mid-Atlantic, it's Otto Schwanz, because he'll choke you right back.
And that's what he looks like he may be doing right now, or getting ready to do. Referee calling for the break. Schwanz is going big forearms into the face, off the rope. Oh my goodness, he meets him with a knee.
Drives the knee in, and beautiful, innovative, inverted, swinging neck breaker by Caprice Ice Coleman. Now making the cover on Otto Schwanz. Here's the count. Not able to hold him down, and boy, that has got to drive Caprice Ice Coleman nuts. Because when you hit a big maneuver like that on Otto Schwanz and can't get the pin, what can you do to him?
I don't know. I mean, you've got to wonder sometimes. The only way you've ever seen anybody pin Schwanz basically is by knocking him out.
Caprice Ice Coleman going right back to the choke because I don't think he knows what else to do with this monster.
That's right. Caprice has got him down on one knee and he's trying to flail away on him, but Schwanz keeps getting back up and keeps going straight back to the face.
Well, you cannot stop the runaway train that is Otto Schwanz, who was going for a power slam, but Caprice slipped from behind, couldn't get the leg hook. He's got him down though. Boy, not being able to hook the leg at the last second as they went spiraling backwards may have cost Caprice Ice Coleman the win. Trying to choke out Otto Schwanz with those big tree trunk legs.
That's right. Otto Schwanz looks like he may be on the way out. He's fighting, he's fighting, he's fighting. Caprice is mouthing off to the fans. I'm telling you, it's got to make you wonder, what is this Caprice Ice Coleman all about right now?
Wait, let's not forget, Caprice Ice Coleman, his legs are probably as strong, if not stronger, than his arms. That vertical ability that he's used, that he's demonstrated over the years so many times, have strengthened those legs to the point that's like a vice-like grip going around your throat.
That's right. And, oh, double axe handle up under the chin. A borderline dirty move there by Caprice, but effective.
Caprice taking a moment before charging in. No one home. Caprice lands on his feet, but he ain't on his feet now.
Big boot of Otto. Schwanz takes Caprice Ice Coleman flat on his back. Schwanz going to take a minute to catch his breath. I believe he knows what he did to his opponent.
Boy, it's been a long time, too, since we've seen someone that is not of equal size of Otto Schwanz take it to him like this. I gotta give Caprice Ice Coleman credit where it's due in that category. He may not respect anyone else, but you can't help but respect some of his accomplishments.
That's right, Caprice Ice Coleman is an incredible athlete. I've said it before, I'll say it again, regardless what his attitude is. But I'm gonna tell you, Otto Schwanz is back in that irresistible force mode.
Yeah, driving right through Caprice Ice Coleman, powering him up and driving him straight into the corner.
Oh my goodness, it looked like the ring moved on that one. Schwanz able to get him up on the top rope. He's going to go straight to the face again. Referee Charles Richardson begging for these two men to get off the road.
Certainly where Caprice doesn't need to be, but that's really not at home territory for Otto Schwanz either. Caprice flies body press. Otto Schwanz rolls through with the cover, the count, but just a 2.
That's right, Otto Schwanz able to turn that one around to his advantage. He's the first one up, goes behind. Beautiful.
German suplex is hanging on to it. That's how he put X-Cyrus away a few weeks ago. Caprice Ice Coleman trying to fight out of it. Kick right to the skull of Otto Schwanz. Frees himself from the German suplex.
My goodness, Otto Schwanz on rubber legs. Caprice Ice Coleman in control.
Thermal shock. Hits the thermal shock. And Jesse Ortega up on the ring apron.
Jesse Ortega up on the apron. He jumped off. Otto Schwanz takes advantage of the situation.
2 and 3. Otto Schwanz pins Caprice Ice Coleman thanks to the interference of Jesse Ortega. Caprice Coleman's had it won with the thermal shock. Boy, payback. That's all we can say for Caprice Ice Coleman, because Jesse Ortega owed you that one.
Yeah, Jesse Ortega leaves Carolina Sports Arena with a bit of revenge.
Kid, and let me say, it's great to be back. First of all, my guest this evening on the hot seat is going to be Michael McAllister. I have some things to get off my chest, and I want to do it face to face. Gemini Kid, you're not even worthy of speaking my name. You're no Sting. And by the way, when you say it, go ahead and say Mr. McAllister. I'm sorry, Mr. McAllister. I just wanted to address you burning my face and sending me away for so long from these fans, and I also wanted to forgive you for it. Forgive me, Gemini? GK? You were just minutes away from being gone anyway, Gemini Kid. You're this bright star, burning bright, and then they all fizzle out, Gemini.
You lose it, son, you lose it.
I know, Michael McAllister, Mr. McAllister. Gemini, you were just a star that needed to be extinguished, Gemini. I'm already out here.
Cause you couldn't maintain the funk, they have the rap style for lunch, y'all. Cause ready to I take a whole crew. You know like punch in the funk, drop all of that go to you. I show you what type of stuff I'm on, you can't pump or slip it. Because I was born with it. The funkadelic go and hit you with the rap level of 10. The 1, 2, 3, your pen. I get action, so everybody jump with your rope. Jumping like the way it sound
Brother, you want to make fun of me? It's about time for some payback.
Look at him.
And it looks at your face there. It looks like that's just a start of what's going to happen to you when I get finished. Because, Cross, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't ask for much around here, but I'm going to ask for a match with McAllister. The likes these people have never seen before. As I said when I came back, it was going to be bad. Michael McAllister, you ain't seen bad yet.
But it's a coming.
Hey,
Look at him and talk.
a match is one thing. This is a little something else. Just calm things down. But as far as the match goes, oh yeah, you will have a match against that man right there. What do you say, guys? You want to see? You want to see the Cadillac King? Oh yeah, I'll set it up. I'll set it up. I can't watch you sit here and practice. So I'm gonna leave right now.
How you like that, fat boy? Oh dear.
As fate would befall it, Julius Augustus is getting a second shot at the Mid-Atlantic Television Championship held by the Boogie Woogie Man, Rob McBride.
You know, we've gone back to the way it used to be. The commissioner's got all the challengers, all the contenders' names in a hat. And the last time I looked, it was my Guns N' Roses cap he was pulling names out of. Augustus must have had the name in there twice because he's back in the ring with the title on the line.
That's exactly right. Julius Augustus, last time out, wrestled a very, very smart match and a nostroplex by the Boogie Woogie Man, Rob McBride.
Oh my goodness, we can't make boogie jokes in the same sentence where you say nostroplex. None, no, we can't.
Julius Augustus trying to adjust his equipment on the outside as Rob McBride having a little bit of fun in there. Of course, for those unfamiliar, let's hit the story one more time. Everyone knows the legendary Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant retired nearly a year and a half ago as Julius Augustus takes advantage and swipes the leg of Rob McBride down across the ring.
That's right, Julius Augustus playing it smart from the outside. He's going to work on the leg around. Oh goodness, he's going to wrap him around that steel ring post.
Julius Augustus wasting no time trying to take that leg out from the Boogie Woogie Man.
You know, when he first went to the floor, I thought maybe Julius Augustus was thinking, let's get this match over with. It's only 10 minutes TV title time limit, but he's got the champion down on his back, clutching his face in pain.
I was going to, go into the story of Jimmy Valiant retiring and handing the Boogie Woogie name and character and everything that's great about the traditional pro wrestling over to Rob McBride, who more than happily took the name the Boogie Woogie Man from his longtime friend Jimmy Valiant a year and a half ago.
Yeah, Jimmy Valiant now in most wrestling circles has reverted to the name, the persona that he used even before Boogie Woogie Man. He is now once again handsome Jimmy Valiant, the way I remember him.
That's exactly right. And of course, if you pick up Jimmy Valiant's book, he tells the story of the night that he handed over the Boogie Woogie name. It's a great read for anyone that hasn't caught it yet.
Yeah, and isn't it amazing? We were both in the building the night it happened. We were there for one of the most historical things that has ever happened, with us involved here in the Mid-Atlantic.
It was certainly a great moment for CWF and the AWA to bring to wrestling fans all around the world. But right now, the television title could be in jeopardy in a very short amount of time as Rob McBride's almost counted out.
Yeah, this television title reign may be slipping away from the Boogie Woogie Man. Julius Augustus fighting a very smart fight here, using the power that he's known for. Boogie's trying everything. Looks like he's trying to rip across the face. Augustus may have been biting him?
May have been, but Rob McBride really standing on top ever since. he was able to defeat Mitch Connor back in January to win the Mid-Atlantic television title, but his challengers, he has certainly taken on a very respectful schedule of competition because Rob McBride, week in and week out, is taking on the toughest the Mid-Atlantic has to offer.
That's right, and he does it without even questioning who, just put him in the ring. He signs the contracts for weeks on end, puts them on the commissioner's desk, and says, I want to be on the show, Daddy.
Right now he's blistering the chest of Julius Augustus, but that's just about all Rob McBride can do because he really can't even get to a vertical base. He keeps dropping back to one knee after each and every chop.
Yeah, that's right. The damage has been done. Boogie's knee. Oh my goodness, Boogie just give out.
Collapses. Referee Charles Richardson around to make the count. Oh my God. Julius Augustus a hair's breadth away from winning the Mid-Atlantic television title, but not letting it distract him. Going right back to the leg, and we have a figure 4 applied by Julius Augustus.
Yeah, figure 4, and this is Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. Imagine that. We've seen it before. We know what kind of damage it'll do. Boogie Woogie Man screaming in pain.
It certainly is not the first time Rob McBride has ever been locked in a figure 4, but it certainly could prove to be one of the most detrimental times.
And I tell you what, Julius Augustus, I've said this before, you take a look at this man, if he's got more than 1.6% body fat on him, I probably owe you $1. I don't believe he's got any body fat. One of the best conditioned athletes here in the Mid-Atlantic, and looks like he is learning his trade. He's got Boogie down, only able to get a 2 count out of him, but he is cranking the figure 4 on the champ.
I'll be shocked if Rob McBride submits. However, if the pain makes him pass out, Rob McBride could easily be counted out here.
That's right, and I'm sure that's what the referee's looking for. Referee Charles Richardson in for his championship match. Keeping a close eye on the Boogie Man. Boogie Man still fighting. Looks like he's trying everything he can, hoping to turn this thing over. I mean, if you can turn it over, it's a reversal of the hold. It looks like he's got him turned over.
It's still painful on Rob McBride, but it's twice as painful as Julius Augustus once you get it reversed. And boy, Rob McBride needed every bit of the support his peoples was giving him to get out of that figure 4.
Yeah, and Julius Augustus needed every bit of support he could get from that bottom rope as the referee called for the break. He's going to try to roll the champion up and go for a pinfall again.
Small package, Rob McBride reverses it, rolls through, has him down, and just like that, my God, Rob McBride out of nowhere pins Julius Augustus with a small package.
Rob McBride, he continues to be your AWA Mid-Atlantic television champion, but I'm telling you, after all the punishment he took, will he be able to even walk out of the arena with a belt?
No, he ain't gonna be able to walk out because Julius Augustus, he don't care if the match is over. Oh, elbow right on the leg of Rob McBride.
My goodness, all of his body weight across the leg, that ankle twisted a strange way. This is gonna be dangerous. Rob McBride needs some help. He needs to get out of the ring, but that wasn't how I intended for him to leave the ring.
Crashes to the concrete floor. Julius Augustus did everything right in this match, but he failed for 3 seconds. He failed, and it cost him, but is he leaving with the TV title? Well, recently we saw Marcellus King leave with Ric Converse's heavyweight title. Is his old partner, Julius Augustus, doing the exact same thing right here now with the TV title?
I tell you, Julius Augustus parading around like he's Miss America, waiting on his bouquet here. Referee Richardson asking for the title, but you know, Charles Richardson's not going to get physical to get the title away from him. And here goes Augustus out of the ring, down to the floor with it.
Julius Augustus and the Mid-Atlantic television title standing over the Boogie Woogie Man, Rob McBride.
Rob McBride is out on the concrete. He dropped the belt right in his face.
What a complete show of disrespect to one of the finest men in CWF Mid-Atlantic. He dropped the TV title right in his face and smashed Rob McBride right in the face. Julius Augustus has certainly left his mark on the Mid-Atlantic television champion. Somehow I think we may see this collision once again if Commissioner Cross has anything to say about it. Oh my God, Randolph!
It's Champagne!
Is this a dream or is this reality?
First name Sham, last name Payne. It is him.
Man, it's great to have you back.
Shut your mouth, woman, and get out of here. Come on, man.
What's up, Champagne?
You know what? It's great to be back in Burlington, the armpit of America. There's nothing like coming out here and smelling cheap women and cheap perfume. I love it. Let me tell you something. If you people don't know me, my name is Champagne, and his first name Sham, last name Payne. You see, I'm a former male exotic dancer from Las Vegas, Nevada, who's traded my G-string for the wrestling ring. And pound for pound, I'm the baddest man to ever set foot into the squared circle. You see, I've been around the world twice. I've seen everything but the wind. I've been everywhere with the electric chair. I've been to 2 state fairs, and I've drove through hell in a gasoline truck in reverse with my hair on fire, wearing thermal underwear and a fur coat with a big red sign hanging out the window that said that you get in the ring with me, you're gonna die. But you know what? I know what you're thinking. Thinking this guy's lying to me. He hadn't been around the world twice. He hasn't seen everything but the wind, and you know what? You're right. I've been around the world 3 times. I've seen everybody but the devil, and I can do anything but have a baby. I've been from Moore County to Montel and from Sanford to Sally. Because when I get in the ring, baby, I am the grand finale. I've been to the North Pole. I've sailed the 7 seas. I'll beat opponents in this ring with the 1, 2, 3. I can eat killer bees because it don't faze me. I'll beat the blind, the crippled, the lame, or the crazy from 8 to 80. Because it don't matter, baby. And just because I'm beautiful, don't hate me. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to my personal assistant, Mr. Ashley Walker. He takes care of my business, handles my trips. He does everything I can do. And you know what? Let me ask you a question.
Can you have a baby?
Yeah, Ex-Cyrus. Tonight, son, I'm going to take you down through there because I know you're making your little way up through CWF, and you're supposed to be the new man, the new reigning king. You're supposed to be the up-and-comer, all this junk. So let me tell you what, I'm going to punk you out tonight, right in the middle of this ring. I promise you. Some Champagne is going to put you through it tonight. You're going to meet the House of Pain. You're going to go through there. I'm going to hit you with a painkiller, and it's going to be over. So all I got to say is hit this chump's music, lady.
Wow, this is one fascinating matchup that I never in my wildest dreams would imagine we would be seeing live and in person. I'm shocked at who is in the ring, Randolph.
I tell you what, everybody up and down the East Coast, everybody in the WWE that's been around, they know the look, they know this man. This is Champagne, the original icon. This is the man of myth, and just got dropped on the back of his head by Ex-Cyrus.
Yeah, we're a little bit in shock and in awe that Champagne is in the Carolina Sports Arena, but let's not lose sight of the fact of what's going on here. Of course, for those unaware, let's try to catch you up real quick. Champagne was a personal assistant to a certain rock in Hollywood by the name of Dwayne Johnson for a few of his movies. That relationship has gone south, and so is Champagne. He's back in the South. He's in CWF Mid-Atlantic, and he's wrestling one-on-one with Ex-Cyrus.
That's right. This is the first look at television in several years here in CWF of the Extreme Lucha icon. I'm telling you, he's smooth as silk, but you got to watch him. He's one of the most dangerous competitors in the ring.
Let's not forget, this is Ex-Cyrus he's wrestling, and the time Champagne has been gone, if there's one man that has taken Champagne's spot, has done everything that Champagne has ever done, and then some as far as maniacal, suicidal dives and high-risk maneuvers, it's Ex-Cyrus. It's like 1996 versus 2006.
It's very similar. The stories of both men, how they came in. Champagne finally getting an offensive move in, got Osiris down. He's going to have to find out a little about this youngster he's got down on the canvas, because obviously he wasn't prepared for the man that met him.
Of course, he had some very disparaging things to say about our fans and the wrestlers in the Mid-Atlantic. And how many times do we see that? An individual that the Mid-Atlantic creates a star out of, they will go elsewhere, and once they go elsewhere, they think, well, I must be better than that Mid-Atlantic area, and when they come back, they're completely disrespectful to who made them a star in the first place.
Yeah, well, they can be completely disrespectful. They can think and say what they'd like to think, but regardless, if you know the facts, the best wrestling in the world, I mean, you've constantly told me about the 3 places in the world that the best wrestlers come from. This is the hotbed. This is the Mid-Atlantic area of North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, down into Georgia, over into Tennessee. These people know wrestling.
That's exactly right. They're not all about the here and now. These people, these fans, they respect the tradition, the heritage of professional wrestling. And boy, when you have a matchup the likes of this, how can you not respect it?
And I'll tell you what, Champagne, he's down on the floor making friends with our pals here at the Carolina Sports Arena, wanting to argue with the referee who's trying to get this match back into the ring. Charles Richardson, a busy man tonight. I tell you, he's got his hands full now. Osiris out to the floor. Looks like he's going to try to get Champagne, but Champagne looks like he's leaving.
Osiris straight to the face of Champagne, right in the entranceway of the Carolina Sports Arena, all the way around. Gonna ram Champagne into the corner post, but Osiris is the steel ring post.
Champagne, using the veteran move, uses Osiris momentum against him. He's face first. He's got to be seeing stars now. A second shot straight to the top of the head. Champagne in control of Osiris, just slings him back into the ring like a bag of laundry.
I'll tell you one thing, Champagne not showing a bit of ring rust here in the early going as he flies, drop kick off the top.
Yeah.
I think...
Who does that look like? I mean, that's usually what we're saying when Osiris is on the top rope.
Yeah, the parallels of these two are just incredible. Their styles so amazingly similar. You know, it was 5-10 years ago they called Champagne the Ric Flair of the Indies, and it's almost like nowadays Osiris is the Champagne of CWF.
And that is very true. I mean, you know, the fans know it. They, you know, even when Osiris was, quote, on the other side, you know, when he was straddling the fence and a little more self-centered than he is right now, the fans realized what kind of competitor, what kind of wrestler this young man is, and they have been behind him regardless through thick and thin.
These fans respect everything Osiris has accomplished in this sport over the past few years. No matter which side of the fence he was on, like you said, he has always given it his all. And right now, who is this goof taking notes at ringside? We've seen him once before, years and years ago. His name's Ashley Walker, and I guess in Champagne thought, well, I spent a few years as Dwayne Johnson's personal assistant. Now I need a personal assistant. So personal assistant Ashley Walker taking notes at ringside. What notes is there to take? Pay any attention to CWF Mid-Atlantic over the past few years. If you don't know who Osiris is now, get a clue, man.
I tell you what, Osiris coming back to life. Ashley Walker tripped up Osiris.
Ashley Walker proving he's not there to take notes. He's there to try and secure a win for Champagne.
And I tell you what, some of the kids at ringside and Kingfish look like they're fired up over this guy on the outside of the ring. Referee Charles Richardson explaining, I did not see it. Champagne up and over. He looks like he's going for a cover. Osiris tries to kick out. He's out on 2.
Champagne not able to hold the shoulders down. You gotta think Champagne's thinking, what in the world have I got myself into with this kid here today? Charles with the count, and boy, Osiris almost pulled it out of nowhere.
I tell you what, you see Champagne retaliate straight in the middle of the back of the head. Now he's standing on him, posing for who?
Still in great shape, but that's not going to get a 3 count.
That's right. Osiris is face down. You got to have the shoulders down, buddy. Certainly you've not been away from the ring long enough to know that. It looks like Champagne's having his fun here in the ring at this moment. Osiris in a world of hurt, but he's still fighting back.
Of course, Osiris, one of the greatest Mid-Atlantic television champions in modern history. Trainee, actually, of the Boogie Woogie Man himself, Jimmy Valiant. Champagne now going for the lateral press, but only a 2.
That's right, X-Cyrus still fighting his way out. Charles Richardson catching his breath with a 2 count. Charles Richardson back up, the Iron Man of independent refereeing. I tell you, Charles Richardson can be amazing some nights. He's been on top of it tonight, but he's got to keep his eye on the man on the outside of the ring with a clipboard. I question that, regardless who it is, what's he doing out there?
These fans finally getting to Champagne. How many times over the years have these crowds chanted first name Sham, last name Pain? But there ain't no chanting of that catchphrase here tonight. They're all about the X.
And I tell you what, Champagne, when he did finally make his entrance, before he made his little diatribe before the match, you got to notice that a lot of the fans just sort of looked on with disbelief.
Yeah, disbelief. I mean, some of the newer fans are not even familiar with who Champagne is, but those diehards, those loyals have been coming for years. They came out of their feet. Jaws hit the floor. I know mine did. X-Cyrus, big flying leg lyric right out of the corner.
X-Cyrus doesn't look like he's too impressed with the return of Champagne. He's doing everything he can to make it one-sided in his favor, but once again, X-Cyrus down on the canvas. Champagne looks like he'll be the first man back to his feet.
Yeah, Champagne got that sledgehammer blow across the back of X-Cyrus, immediately following that flying leg lariat, and now Champagne once again trying to position X-Cyrus, slamming him to the canvas.
That's right, and Champagne, he's going to take a casual walk around the ring. He's still not happy with what he's hearing from these great fans here at the Carolina Sports Arena in Burlington, North Carolina. You know, we're not a hard place to find. Highway 62, almost across the street from the airport. Simple to find. You need to come out one night. We're doing a taping. It's a lot of fun. As you see right now with Champagne in the ring, you never know who's going to be at the Carolina Sports Arena.
Of course, you need to go to CWFMidAtlantic.com to actually reserve your seats, because we are so frequently sold out here at the Carolina Sports Arena.
Yeah, that's right, but I mean, you let us know you're coming. You're going to bring a group, we love that. We don't care if you want to come by yourself. You're going to bring the family, bring mom, dad, the kids. You can bring grandma and grandpa. Leave the dog out in the car, though, okay?
X-Cyrus trying to hammer out, not trying to give Champagne a second to recompose himself, as Champagne pulls the hair of X-Cyrus right back down to the mat.
Am I seeing Champagne pulling out all the stops against X-Cyrus at this point of the match?
Yeah, if he thought he was going to walk into the CSA and have a hero's welcome and just steamroll through some rookie, he was very sadly mistaken.
That's right, X-Cyrus far from a rookie here in the Mid-Atlantic area. This young man's been up against all of the big names. He knows what it's all about. Champagne is just another paycheck, somebody he's got to defeat.
Yeah, and enjoy X-Cyrus while you can, because he's not going to be doing much high flying 10 years from now in that wheelchair.
That's true, because I questioned several times. I've seen him do things that made me cringe, because I know it probably did as much or more damage to his body than it did to his opponent. But I'm telling you, he's fearless.
And of course, we've seen Champagne do that same kind of stuff many, many times in the past, setting X-Cyrus right back up on that top turnbuckle. He's able to block the head scissors, and now Champagne climbing to the top rope, firing away on X-Cyrus.
X-Cyrus sitting on the top rope. Oh my goodness, he boots Champagne off. Champagne is down in the center of the canvas. X-Cyrus looks like he's trying to go up to the top.
And Champagne just shoved Charles Richardson. It was off camera, but Champagne shoved our official into the top rope, shaking that top rope, and X-Cyrus was not able to maintain his balance.
Yeah, I was looking around trying to figure out where Ashley Walker was during that sequence when I seen X come down, but looks like Champagne once again in control up to the top rope. Oh!
Superplex administered by Champagne. Both men down.
Both men down. Both men damaged on that. Champagne looks like he took the brunt of that. X-Cyrus, not even sure he knows where he's at or what he's doing. Both men sucking wind hard. It took a toll on both of these competitors.
That's the kind of maneuver that takes so much out of both men, like you said. If you can make a cover, a lot of times you can get the win, but it just knocks all the wind right out of you. And you see how much trouble Champagne is having trying to get over and make that cover.
That's right, but he struggled to his hands and knees, crawls over. He grabbed the opposite leg. X-Cyrus kicks out on two.
X-Cyrus did not have a lot left in the tank, but he had enough left not to be counted out. And Champagne, boy, you can see him sucking some wind. He's trying to fire away on X-Cyrus.
X-Cyrus, I'm telling you, Champagne was not expecting such a resilient opponent in the ring. Champagne, I said earlier, I thought he was pulling out all stops. Right now, I know he is.
X-Cyrus fires away with a big right hand, I tell you. For a cruiserweight, X-Cyrus has some of the prettiest right hands you'll ever see.
That's right, X-Cyrus in control. He's got Champagne down, and he's begging him to get back to his feet, slings him into the ropes.
Big backdrop!
Oh my goodness, over on the side near the ropes, that wasn't in the center of the ring. X-Cyrus is fired up. He's begging Champagne to get back to his feet.
X-Cyrus can taste it. Can he put away a Mid-Atlantic legend on his homecoming night here at the Carolina Sports Arena in Vernon Merchant Lake Sweep?
And this could be it. X-Cyrus in a great position for the first time. Champagne doesn't know. I mean, looks like he's looking for a tag. X-Cyrus over for the cover.
Get Ashley Walker out of here! X-Cyrus just had this one won!
This one should have been over referee Charles Richardson. You mean to tell me he didn't see Ashley Walker do that?
Ashley Walker blatantly putting the leg of Champagne across that bottom rope.
Oh my goodness.
Champagne trying to get his wits about him. X-Cyrus arguing with the official. Champagne backdrops X-Cyrus over the ropes, who lands on the ring apron. We go going for the springboard missile drop kick.
Oh my goodness, Champagne flat down in the middle right above the AWA logo. X-Cyrus in control. He's back to his feet.
What? Ashley Walker in the ring. Champagne, he's holding Charles Richardson. We can have a DUI coming up. Nails it on Ashley Walker.
Well, Ashley Walker, I guess it'll be 4 or 5 years before we see you back outside of our ring again. But look, Champagne's up. He's got the clipboard. X-Cyrus does not know he's up. Walks right into it.
Broke that clipboard right over the head of X-Cyrus. Ashley Walker unconscious. Charles, don't count it, Charles.
Oh, Charles Richardson calls for the bell. This match is over by pinfall. Your winner, the Extreme Lucha Icon. First name Champ, last name Payne, and whoever this guy is on the outside with a flipping clipboard.
Yeah, you can give one half of the win to Ashley Walker. Champagne's homecoming may have ended in a W, but he's going to share it with that goof at ringside.
I tell you what, this is uncalled for. We need to check the credentials. Why is this man at ringside in the first place?
Mid-Atlantic heavyweight title on the line as Slick Diddy, Ric Converse has seen enough. He's not wasting any more time. The first fight, and he's hammering away on Marcellus King.
That's right, Ric Converse is taking note of what Marcellus King is doing, mocking the champion during his ring entrances, even at one point holding the title that was not his. Converse is not happy.
Marcellus King blatantly mocking our Mid-Atlantic heavyweight champion, but he's gonna pay for it as Ric Converse trying to rip the face right off of Marcellus King.
Yeah, Marcellus King had the tape across the face. Converse just removed that. He's had enough of the imitation. King smartly drops out of the way and down to the floor to get away from Converse.
Or when have you seen Marcellus King beat a pillar to post like that? And I don't think Ric Converse is going to let him get a second to breathe.
Converse after him. He's circling him like a wild animal, trying to get hold of him down on the floor.
Converse around the ring, chases down Marcellus King.
Big chop to the chest. Marcellus King down on the concrete. The champion's telling the fans to get out of the chairs. He's going to use them as a weapon.
Marcellus King in the middle of the fans, in the middle of the chairs, and the Mid-Atlantic heavyweight champion. All these weeks of frustration and pain that he has endured at the hands of Marcellus King. He's endured at the hands of Joey Silvia, Trent Wild, and Steve Greene. It's all coming out at one time. And it's right here and now at the Carolina Sports Arena.
Yeah, Ric Converse has got to focus himself. He's in the ring against one big bad hombre, Marcellus King, who he just drops to the concrete floor with a big clothesline.
You think Ric Converse's mind is not 100% focused at the mission at hand here today? The title is on the line, and he is not about to lose focus like he did the last time these two met.
Yeah, Marcellus King having a hard time on the outside of the ring. Doesn't look like he's in any hurry to get back in. Converse goes out to the floor to get him.
The last time here at the Carolina Sports Arena, Ric Converse lost by countout. Oh, no one home, and Ric Converse wraps himself around the steel ring post.
Yeah, the arm and the shoulder's got to be in a world of hurt right now. The champion, he probably doesn't have a lot of feeling in it. Marcellus King knows this, and he's going to go over and start to work on it, wrapping the arm right back around the ring post.
Trent Wild, Joey Silvia, and Steve Greene cost Ric Converse the match last time when him and Marcellus King wrestled for the Mid-Atlantic heavyweight title. They cost Ric Converse that match by countout, but Ric Converse was trying to end it early, but an inadvertent shot across that steel ring post turned the tide into the favor of Marcellus King.
Marcellus King taking advantage of the situation right now. He sets the champion up, drops an elbow across the windpipe again, back up onto the apron. Marcellus King, a very dangerous individual. I mean, he's got the champ in a bad way right now.
Look at this slingshot. Ric Converse into the bottom rope, and boy, did you see Ric Converse's larynx go straight into the bottom rope. Now Marcellus King with the cover, Charles with the count.
Now, I tell you what, Ric Converse just barely able to get out on the 2 count on that right as the referee's hand is counting down to the 3. Marcellus King straight to the face with a big boot. There he goes with another one. I'm telling you what, Marcellus King tasted. He wants that title.
And he certainly He certainly has the accomplishments to do that here today. He is the one of, if not the strongest man in the Mid-Atlantic today. And a lot of people really think the future for Marcellus King does indeed involve the Mid-Atlantic heavyweight title.
I tell you, Marcellus King, a powerful individual, burst onto the scene here. Nobody could touch him for months. We've never seen anybody come into the CSA and start an impressive streak like this young man did. And I say, yes, young man. Veteran he may be, he's still a young competitor, and he's got years if this monster can stay healthy of wrestling and competition here in the Mid-Atlantic area.
I'll never forget the first time he stepped into CSA last summer. He tore apart the Rising Generation League champion, Kid Justice. Then, after that, him and Julius Augustus defeated the Southside Players when they were champions in non-title action. Marcellus King, one of the last 2 men in the 5th annual CWF Rumble, along with Ric Converse himself. Marcellus King has done so much, and he hasn't even been here a year yet.
Yeah, he certainly dug himself a nice little notch in the contendership for almost every title in the Mid-Atlantic area. Everybody nationwide's got their eye on this young man. They're thinking lightning may strike, maybe even here tonight, and be, he may be the next Mid-Atlantic heavyweight champion.
March 25th could be a huge day in the life of Marcellus King. What a knee lift by the champ!
I tell you what, the champion come off the rope and hit him hard, but he's still got a loss of feeling in the shoulder from the earlier damage put on by the challenger. He's going to turn him around. Neck breaker drops King head first into the canvas.
Ric Converse certainly knows what it's like to battle from the bottom up. He fought the Mad Trucker, Gary Stevens, in that brutal steel cage match last December. He knows what it's like to have to fight a bigger man, what it's like to defeat a bigger man, and that's the same kind of strategy he's going to have to employ against Marcellus King.
And I tell you what, he's showing a little bit of his old mean streak right here, because that knee to the back of the neck and the hands cupped under the chin, that's doing a lot of damage and makes breathing very difficult. He comes around to a conventional headlock. He's just cranking away on the skull of Marcellus King.
Ric Converse is a tremendous scientific wrestler, but make no mistake, if it's needed, he is one of the best fighters as well.
He's one of the most dangerous fighters, because those of you who know, those who've been around and seen this young man, he's a southpaw. He'll hit you, you won't see it coming.
Ric Converse has seen and done it all in his years here in the Mid-Atlantic. He wrestled Steve Carino in not just one, but in 2 of the greatest matches in CWF Mid-Atlantic modern day history.
Yeah, now you mentioned the Carino. Those matches are going to be greats in the long run, but who can forget how he won the title last time in the steel cage against the Mad Trucker? One of the bloodiest nights in the history of Mid-Atlantic wrestling.
So many great matches over the years provided by Ric Converse against the likes of Corey Edsel, against the likes of Michael Yamaha. The list just goes on and on and on. Ric Converse, the preeminent modern day professional wrestler, and he just received a huge back suplex courtesy of Marcellus King.
Marcellus King just dropped the champion right back on the shoulder that he softened up so well early in this match. I tell you what, Marcellus King's showing us a lot of intelligence in the ring. He has a long-range game plan. It would appear he's just not in here hitting you with what you come open with. He has got a plan. He is trying to take the champion's belt away from him.
Boy, does this match not have that feel of the clash of the titans between 2 great modern-day heavyweights. It's for the Mid-Atlantic heavyweight title. The battles over the years, the Players, the Steamboats, the Valentines, the Briscoes. The list goes on and on. Here today, March 25th, is Marcellus King. It's Ric Converse trying to etch their name in the annals annals of great Mid-Atlantic heavyweights.
Yeah, Marcellus King, he's already tried on the belt. He's already come out in the furs here for the last few weeks. He's ready for it. He thinks he's prepared for it. But I mean, if he's truly prepared for it, why doesn't he have the champion in the ring in a pinning predicament instead of trying to humiliate him in front of the fans here at the Carolina Sports Arena?
Marcellus King has got to be trying to get his wits about him right now, choking Ric Converse out, taking a moment, because Ric Converse has really been on the offensive in this one, far more than a lot of people would have expected. And what an elbow right underneath the chin of Ric Converse.
Yeah, Marcellus King measured him up good for that, slung him into the ring. Referee's down, only able to get a 2 count. Converse out on 2.
Marcellus King staying right on top of him once again, trying to wear the champion down. Put that 280, 300-pound body weight across the champion, trying to use that power to wear the champion out.
And Ric Converse doing that. He's trying to keep moving, trying to keep circulation going through the upper torso. You know that shoulder's in a lot of pain right now. He's trying to fight his way out, and he's back up to one knee, working his way up back to a vertical base.
He's fighting for everything he's worth. There's no quit in Ric Converse. I don't think I've ever in my life ever seen Ric Converse submit, and I really don't think we'll see it here tonight. Marcellus King looking around. Marcellus King, is he going up?
Marcellus King taking that huge body of his up to the second rope, trying to get the crowd up with him. What's he going to do? Measures the champion.
The double axe handle across the skull of Ric Converse. The champion drops, and Marcellus King wasting possibly too much time here.
King saunters back over, casually makes the cover, casually grabs the opposite leg. The champion able to kick out on a 2 count. Now, King once again taking his time, showing his disgust at not already being the champion.
Yeah, but Marcellus King has no one to blame in that one but himself. He wasted way too much time making the cover, and now just measuring Ric Converse, waiting on the champion to get his feet, and Ric Converse meets him.
And I tell you what, Marcellus King, one mistake I have seen, veteran though he may be, he has been playing to the crowd. The crowd does not appreciate him at all. Why is he doing this?
Big sledgehammer forearms by Ric Converse, bringing him from way downtown. No one home for Marcellus King. Oh, but he drove the knee right back into Ric Converse.
That's right, Converse was going to try a little hit and run, and when he come in for another assault, King was waiting. Veteran move on his part. He's got the champion down, goes for a cover, doesn't get the opposite leg, only gets a 2 count, and he's going to sit there and lip off to the official again.
Marcellus King going back to work on the arm, the elevated knee, driven right into the arm, can easily dislocate it.
Yeah, dislocate it, break it, snap it like a twig. I'm telling you what, now he's got the arm, the wrist bent back in an unnatural position. Champion in a world of hurt. You know, this could be a submission.
Tremendous camera work from the CWF crew, taking you right into the action.
That's right, right inside the ring here in Burlington, North Carolina, the Carolina Sports Arena. This is it. This is main event. Our champion, the AWA Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion, Ric Converse, the challenger, Marcellus King, going tooth and nail. This one, I mean, we're talking maybe time limit on this. These guys won't give up.
Boy, it's not 1985, and it's not center stage, but boy, does it feel like it right now.
I'll tell you what, this is a great atmosphere for a title match. Converse trying to come up back with a Russian leg sweep. He gets the challenger down, but I'm telling you, Converse has had so much done to him, he's having a hard time getting back to his feet as well.
Well, Converse needed that maneuver. He needed it bad, but he's not able to make a cover. But maybe the champion can have enough time to catch his breath here.
Yeah, you got to wonder how he's been able to get breath between the flurries of beatings that Marcellus King's tried to put on in the time that he's been able to get away and, you know, inflict a little damage himself. But King's having a hard time getting back to his feet, using the ropes to pull him up. Looks like Converse going to try to get up as well.
Of course, we have a 30-minute time limit for all Mid-Atlantic heavyweight title matches. And man, look at the energy, look at the fire in Ric Converse's eyes. He's on his feet and he's hammering away on Marcellus King.
Yeah, talk about hit and run. Converse able to duck out of a couple of haymakers, and he's just taking it straight to the face of King. Ducks under. Big elbow right to the head.
He plows through Marcellus King with all his body weight. He takes the much larger man down, and now Ric Converse on that second turnbuckle, flying clothesline.
Ric Converse is feeling it now. You can see it in his face. You can read it in his body language. He's got the man down. King able to kick out on the 2 count. Wasn't able to get the 3. Converse going back to the ropes.
Ric Converse looking to Sinn one more time. My question is, can he actually get Marcellus King up in the Richter scale? I don't know if he can, but he's going up and he's flying. Double axe hander. We know how much Ric Converse used to emulate Randy Savage. Here's the count. Only a 2.
That's That's right, Marcellus King able to kick out again. Converse questioning the count, but I mean, at least he's staying on the challenger. He's going to pick him up and go straight back to the face again, something we see Converse do so often.
Reversal by Marcellus King. Rams right into a boot of Ric Converse, who's staying on top of him. Marcellus King really doesn't even know where he is right now. Oh, he got the boot in this time.
And I tell you what, that may have been reflex. And here goes a big drop kick. Converse holding his face. He's in a world of hurt, but look. He's back over here talking to the crowd again. What is King's problem?
Marcellus King sucking some air right now. He just threw a body part up. He caught Ric Converse with the boot. He didn't know what was going on, but he knew something bad was coming at him.
That's right, and Converse having a difficult time catching his breath, getting back to his feet. King's feeling it now. He's saying it's over with, but I mean, he can't be too cocky. But oh yes,
hitting me!
Richter scale.
Marcellus King insult, going for the Richter scale. Ric Converse sweeps out of the way, and now fighting for the Richter scale. Cannot get it. No one home for the close on Marcellus King. Backslide, Charles with the count. 3-3. Ric Converse pins Marcellus King.
Ric Converse still the AWA Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion. What an impressive victory by pinfall over big Marcellus King.
Marcellus King's name does not go down in history. On March 25th, 2006, Ric Converse could not get the Richter scale, but neither could Marcellus King. And in the end, a surprise backslide leads the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion to victory.
And you got to wonder about the nerve of the challenger coming out here dressed like a champion. Wait a minute.
What's going on? What's going on? The dynasty in the ring.
Oh goodness, got him from behind. Steve Greene, Joey Silvia attacks Converse from behind. Referee Charles Richardson asking them to quit. There's not a lot he can do. We got a 2-on-1 situation.
Trent Wild was Trent Wild briefly appeared in the entranceway there to distract Ric Converse. Meanwhile, Joey Silvia and Steve Greene from behind. It's another double team attack on Ric Converse. How many times do we have to see this? But it may be 2-on-1. But the champion sees the
Cyrus in with a steel chair. He takes a swing and a miss. Silvia and Greene are gone.
Silvia and Greene are gone. Cyrus making the save for Ric Converse. But look in the eyes of Ric Converse.
Converse grabbed his chair.
Converse is almost as scared as Cyrus.
What in the world?
All the sneak attacks, all the backstabbing from Trent Wild, Steve Greene, and Joey Silvia. Ric Converse cannot even trust his friend Cyrus now.
Yeah, but listen to those two idiots down on the floor. They're egging Cyrus to attack Converse. What's going on?
I believe Joey Silvia just said, just like we planned. Do it, Cyrus. There's no way Cyrus could be involved with them. There's no way.
It's just not like him. I tell you what, it looks like he's going to try to clear the ring and have a word with Converse. Converse isn't buying anything at this point.
But who can blame him? Ric Converse has been backstabbed so many times by 3 of his best friends over the past few months. Who's to say Cyrus is not capable of the exact same thing? Ric Converse doesn't know which way to turn.
He doesn't even trust referee Charles Richardson right now. Ric Converse, he doesn't trust anybody.
This is so sad because Cyrus was just there trying to help Ric Converse, and Converse just doesn't know who to trust.
Yeah, I can feel for the champion. He really has to have eyes in the back of his head 24/7 right now because, I mean, look, they're back out here around the apron. They're egging Cyrus into attacking him. Cyrus doesn't appear to be going to take an aggressive stand against the champion. He's begging off, telling him, look, I'm out here to help. But these guys down here are just like little rats. They won't go away. They're down here screaming, get it, get it.
We have got to get Ric Converse and Cyrus on the same page somehow, some way. But for today, for March 25th, thank each and every one of you for joining us on HighSpots.tv and an exclusive HighSpots internet release.